Good morning, children. Hope you all are taking care of yourself. Let's continue with the chapter number 14, and now we will see the first aid can be provided in the following situations. So the first point is bleeding from cuts and wounds. Wash your hands with soap and water. So children, whenever there is a cut in your hands, the first step you should follow is wash your hands with soap and water. Clean the wound with an antiseptic lotion. You have to clean the wound with the antiseptic lotion and cover it with a medicated tape. Then you have to cover that wound with a medicated tape such as band-aid. If a band-aid is unavailable, cover the wound with a cotton pad or a bandage. If suppose band-aid is not available, you cover that wound with the cotton pad or a bandage. Raise the wounded area above the level of the heart to slow the blood flow to the wound. So keep your hands above the level of the heart so that the flow of the blood should be slow. Second point, bleeding from the nose or mouth. So when you are bleeding from the nose or mouth, what we have to do? To stop a nosebleed, make the person sit upright with his or her head slightly forward. So whenever we are bleeding from nose or mouth, what we have to do? We have to make that person sit upright and make head slightly forward. Pinch his or her nostrils for a few seconds and make him or her breathe through his or her mouth. If suppose the bleeding is coming from the nose, what we have to do? Pinch his or her nostrils for a few seconds and make him or her breathe through the mouth. And if suppose there is a bleeding from the mouth, make that person lie on his or her side to prevent choking. So children, here we have to do the two things. If suppose a person is bleeding from the nose, what we have to do? We have to pinch the nostril for a few seconds and make him or her breathe through the mouth. And if the person is bleeding from the mouth, make that person lie on his or her side to prevent choking. Now the third point is severe burns. So when there is a severe burn, what we have to do? Run cool tap water over the burn for at least 10 minutes. The first point, or we can say the first step we have to do, run the cool tap water over the burn. Where the person is burned, there run the cool tap water for at least 10 minutes. Apply an antiseptic cream. So you have to apply the antiseptic cream, coconut oil or a paste of baking powder on the wound. So you can apply three things on the burn, that is antiseptic cream, or you can apply coconut oil or a paste of baking powder on the wound. Cover it with a clean cloth. Then cover the wound with a clean cloth. Do not try to break the bristles or remove the cloth stuck to the wound. So do not try to break the bristles or remove the cloth stuck to the wood. Next is fracture. A fracture is a break in a bone. So everybody know that a fracture, it is a break of the bone. Use thin piece of wood, cardboard or folded newspapers to form a splint. So use a cardboard or a wood or a folded newspaper to form a splint. Attach the splint gently to the area of the fracture. This will prevent further dislocation and protect the wound till medical help is available. So when we apply this wood, newspaper and cardboard, and when we folded it and we attach it gently to the area of the fracture, so it prevent further dislocation and protect the wound till medical help is available. Next is choking. A person can choke when food enters the windpipe instead of food pipe. So what is the meaning of choking? When a person eats the food, instead of going in the food pipe, the food enters in the windpipe and the food choke. Keep the victim's head lower than his or her chest. So keep the head lower on his chest. Pat the area between his or her shoulder blades with your palm about 5 to 6 times. So 5 to 6 times we have to pat the back. This will help him or her to cough out the food particles stuck in his or her windpipe. So by doing this method, it will help the food to come out from the windpipe. Next is fainting. A person who has fainted should be laid down with his or her head low so that more blood can reach his or her brain. So children, why the person gets fainted? Because the blood flow doesn't go in the brain. So for that the person has to lay down with his or her head low so that blood can reach to the brain. There should be no crowd around him. There should be no crowd around him so that he or she can breathe in fresh air. The person who is fainted, he or she needs the fresh air. So be careful that there should be no crowd around his or her. Next point is sprains. Sprains occur when muscles or joints receive an injury. Make a cold compress by wrapping some ice cubes into a towel. So to recover this type of injuries, what we have to do? Take a ice cube and wrap it in the towel. Apply it to the sprain. So after that you can apply it on the sprain. Apply an ointment to the area. Even you can apply the ointment also. Tie a crimp bandage around the sprain for support. It is important to make a first aid kit which can have items such as bandages of different types and sizes. So children, it is very important to make a first aid kit, or we can say at our home we should have first aid kit, and the items in that kit should be bandages of different types and size, and antibiotic ointment. We have to keep the antibiotic ointment also. A small scissors, even the scissors, then tweezers, adhesive tape, needles, antiseptic cream, plastic gloves, and emergency phone numbers. So all these things should be there in the first aid kit, and it is very important to keep the first aid kit ready in our homes. So children, here we have completed the chapter. Now let's go through our values. We should do all we can to help those affected by disasters even if we do not know them personally. So children, we have learned about the natural disasters, and during that time we should help the people whether we know them or we may not. So it is our duty to help those affected by disasters. What can we, the ordinary citizens, do to help the victims of disasters? So you can answer it by your own. What can we do, the ordinary citizens, as we are the ordinary citizens, what we can do to help the victims of disasters? Now let's remember. First point, natural disasters occur suddenly and cause great damage to life and property. So we have learnt about it, that natural disaster, whenever it occurs, it causes great damage to life and property. Earthquakes, landslides, tsunamis, cyclones, hurricanes and floods are some forms of natural disasters. So all these are the forms of natural disasters. Several national and international organizations come to the rescue in case of any natural disaster. So this also we have learned, that several national and international organizations, they come forward to help the people affected in this type of natural disaster. First aid is the immediate help given to an injured person before professional medical help arrives. So first aid, we have learnt just now that first aid is the immediate help given to the person who is injured before the medical help is available or medical help arrives. It is important to keep a simple first aid kit handy for emergencies. Children, this also we have learnt just now that many things we have to, different type of things we have to keep in the first aid kit, and it is important, it is very important to keep a simple first aid kit handy for emergency at our homes. We have completed the chapter number 14. See you in the next video with the new chapter. Till then, take care.